In this series, you're going to learn everything you need to know about speaking with purpose. Now, we've all experienced this in a chair, in a room, hotel, audience, whatever it might be, and the audience applauds because the speaker is about to take the stage. You've never heard them before, but you give them the benefit of the doubt that if they're up there for a reason. And lo and behold, you listen to them, and somehow your eyes start to get heavy. You start to reach for your cell phone. You wonder why you came to the event. Why? It might not have been that the person was not intelligent or qualified or an expert in their field. But ladies and gentlemen, in this fast-paced society, if you do not learn how to speak with purpose, to capture people's attention and not just their eyeballs, you will not have the necessary skill set to get your message across as far as it can go. And I've had the privilege of traveling with some of the top speakers in the world. I've had the privilege of working on stages of all sizes, and I'm telling you that the key to success as a speaker, one of them is learning how to speak with purpose. And there are three principles that I have come to realize in my 20 years as a speaker. At 10 years old, I started speaking, introducing my father nationally and internationally, and I did not realize what an incredible opportunity that I had learning how to communicate from the stage. Those same beginning stages, that training that I went through, where I was taught by one of the top speakers in the world. Now, looking back, I'm able to share with you what I've learned. And the first key to speaking with purpose, I want you to get out of your mind of what you think you need to say when you get on the stage. I want you to get out of the mind of who you think you need to be or who you want people to believe you are. I want you to get in the mindset of who you are as a world-class communicator. And your duty is not to get in front of people and talk. Your goal is to provide value. And the way that you provide value as a speaker is, number one, speak with purpose. Speak like you mean it. I'm so tired of listening in audiences where I just want to say, shut up already, because you don't even believe the words that you're saying. There are three principles. Here it is. The first key principle in speaking with purpose is preparation. The most purposeful speakers are the most prepared speakers. They string their content together seamlessly. They don't need a script. They are looking at you in your eye, and they are telling you who they are, what they have to offer, and it's compelling. It's moving. Have you ever had an experience where you did not want to be in an audience, but a speaker was so captivating that it transformed your life? Oh, yes. I've had that experience. And your audience, your crowd, your following, they will have that experience. As long as you hold yourself to this standard every time you speak, in personal or professional conversations, speak with purpose. And be prepared. Step one, be prepared. Constantly work on your mind. I encourage people to read 15 minutes out loud a day, because if you read in your head, you're not practicing the muscle of your voice, and you're not exercising your vocal cords. So if you want to be prepared as a speaker, one of the things I encourage you to do is read out loud. 10 to 15 minutes a day. Read out loud as if you're telling a story to little children. Read out loud in a way that brings the content on the pages to life. Don't go through this series and tell me that you have not gotten anything from it unless you try this technique. Read out loud. every day to yourself, because your voice is a muscle, and that is part of the duties of being prepared as a purposeful communicator. And when you're preparing for your speeches, I do not want you to get stuck to a script. You do not allow your spirit to transcend the situation when you are committed to a script. Actors may have scripts, politicians may have scripts, but world-class communicators, we have the privilege of speaking extemporaneously. None of this is written down. This is experiential conversation, where if you know your topic, if you've done the work, if you studied the message, if you know within your heart of hearts that you truly have something to offer the world, then you get up in front of an audience and you are prepared. You're not thinking about you. You're not worried about any nerves, because you are prepared. Preparation is the first key to speaking with purpose. Have you ever been in an audience where somebody got up and you could tell they weren't prepared? You can tell that they had a script and it did not fit the situation? No. You don't have a script. You have a voice. You have a mind. And I want you to begin to prepare your mind, because when you can communicate, you can help people realize that life is worth living. When you can communicate with purpose, you can help interrupt someone that may be contemplating doing something negative in their life or to someone else. When you can communicate effectively, you can audibly transform the human spirit, but not if you try to do it without speaking with purpose. It's not about being loud. It's not about putting on a show. It's about being prepared and knowing that your content is rich enough to empower others. But it's not just about being prepared. You also, when speaking with purpose, you want to be prepared, but you want to master the emotions. See, preparation and emotion. These are the first two keys. Preparation and emotion. As you read out loud 15 minutes a day, I want you to tap into the emotion of the author. I don't want those words on the page to stand on the page. Make those words dance. Make the words that you are going to deliver to your audience dance to their eardrum and boogie down their souls. That is your job, and nothing less, when you're speaking with purpose. People don't buy goods or services. They buy a feeling. And when you speak, just like music does, your voice has the opportunity to create a feeling in a person's heart and not just take up space in a person's mind. And when you are rich in your content and you are thoroughly prepared and allow yourself to tap into the emotions of the moment, I know without a shadow of a doubt that your purpose of your message, that the point that you were getting across, that the thing that gave you the courage to pick up the microphone or to lift your voice or to teach an audience, I am thoroughly convinced. And when you are prepared and when you are in tune with the emotions of the moment, don't allow yourself to talk about tragedies in your past without reliving them temporarily. Don't allow yourself to talk about victories in the moment without beating your chest and lifting your arms and feeling how you felt as you crossed that finish line. So many speakers today could go so much further and could be so much more profitable if they were only in tune with their emotions, if they weren't so dry. I want you to make a conscious effort to wet your life up. Don't let it be so dry. Wet up your presentation. Give me some vocal variety. Vocal variety is the key, is the gateway drug for emotions during a speech. Vocal variety will allow people to experience the highs and lows of your life. Vocal variety is the best friend of a world-class communicator because one tone of voice does not fit every situation. Who in your audience can be in tune with the emotions while you describe your purpose? And so the three keys to speaking with purpose: number one, preparation. Number two, emotion. And number three, vulnerability. Oh, yes. Oh, a speaker may seem like an ego freak, but really, the best speakers are vulnerable. You cannot be in tune with the emotions of the moment unless you risk not being liked. I know you want people to like you. I know you want people to feel that what you say has value. But I'm telling you that that's a choice that your audience, each member in your audience has to make on their own. Your duty as a world-class communicator is to speak with purpose. Is to be prepared every time you communicate. And it's to be in tune with the emotions of the stories and of the principles that you're sharing with your audience. But if you are not vulnerable, if people cannot see that you're a real person underneath it all. It's not about picking out a fancy joke, or it's not about demeaning yourself in front of the crowd. It's about coming from the core of who you are and not trying to put one over on people. When I speak, when I take an audience, I get more real with the audience than I am at any other point in time, because I realize that there's a great responsibility for those that have the opportunity to influence an audience. You are an influencer. However, you cannot be influential if you are not perceived as a real human being, as a mother, as a father, as a niece, as a nephew. And so don't get so caught up in having to be perfect when you speak. Don't get so caught up on having to have the right technique, or having to say the right quote, or having to pull out the right point. Don't get so caught up in the script of who you think you need to be, because trust me on this, you will have some moments when you're on the stage where you're speaking with purpose and you become someone else. You become more powerful than you can imagine, because you have the opportunity to share all of you. And sometimes in our personal moments, our power can be blinding for our friends and relatives. Sometimes when you speak with purpose to people that you've known for years, it can turn them off when you're used to having a friendly relationship. But guess what? Speaking with purpose doesn't mean that you can't have fun, doesn't mean that you can't be funny. It just means that you are prepared. It means that you are in tune with your emotions so that you can create an emotional experience as well as an intellectual experience. And it means that you have the courage to be vulnerable. You have the courage to be vulnerable. I want you to speak with purpose. I want you to touch the child that needs to hear your voice. I want you to impact the inmate that can make new choices to help our community. I see you coaching top CEOs from around the world by implementing these three techniques. Keep in mind, every time you speak, not to waste the opportunity and to speak with purpose. And part of speaking with purpose is being prepared. Reading out loud 15 minutes a day, every day. Tapping into the emotions of the stories that you tell. And being vulnerable not to have to be perfect every time you speak and not to worry about that.